Hi. Hi. Live. Hi, we are in National Air and Space Museum. Okay, Mahesh and me. We are going live. Where is Siddharth? This is Akash Siddharth inga. We are going live. Okay. Tell hi.
Hi.
Your miss is watching.
Yeah, Mr.
Hi. Okay. This is National Air and Science Museum from Washington. So this is technology on AI, virtual memory, and I'm not a technocraft, but still it's very interesting. Just family and friends know just a quick fix of what is in how the craft is flying and what is the technology involved, and so many things are on board. So technically so many fittings are in store, and for students of science, this is really a visual and a techno treat. We have so many things in place, and we have a counters. Hi, I'm just standing. There are some many floors over here. Okay, as I told you, what is the first craft which has been flying from the USA, and what are the technology involved, and so many things are very interesting. Okay, and you can see I'm just trying a view from the first floor of this science museum. Just taking a view through. We have so many interesting facts, like who completed the first solo flight and the civilian flight, and so many things on board. And as I told you, it's a repeat is on in transition. Those who are very much interested into science know this is a visual treat as well as an information retreat. This is. So don't miss out, those who fly over here. And
the museum is the first airplane to fly across, and the first airplane to fly across the United States non-stop.
that is the technical staff which is explaining regarding the details in board.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. Pardon me.
Hi, sir.
What we're going to do, folks, my group,
Can I join you?
please. We're going to look at this airplane right above us, this big brown thing. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to stand over here. Yeah, that's the best view of the house. Give me the front, and I can blow my voice away from him so he doesn't bother him. And we're going to talk about this big brown thing above us here. This big brown thing above us, ladies and gentlemen, is known as an airplane, is known as a Fokker T2. This is the first airplane to fly across the United States nonstop, just like it says on the side there. Army Air Service, nonstop, coast to coast. Now, the two guys who were flying the airplane, the guy on top is John McCready, the guy on the bottom is Oakley Kelly. McCready, in the early 1920s, was perhaps the most famous test pilot of them all, in a little airfield outside of Dayton called McCook Field. At one time, he had distance and duration records sewn up at the same time. Now, the guy at the bottom, Oakley Kelly, doesn't have the name recognition McCready does, but he knows what he's doing, thank you very much, and he wants to be involved in this flight the worst way. So what does he do? He puts a map on his office wall, and draws a line from one side to the other, and basically does not say anything to anybody about the line or the map representation. Doesn't work. His boss walks into him one day and says, Kelly, well, what's that? And Kelly said, well, sir, that's the flight I'm thinking about flying across the United States. The boss says, oh, that's very nice, or something with words like that. Turns around, walks all the way out of the office, nothing more is said. A short time later, week, 2 weeks, whatever it was, the boss runs into Kelly and says, you know, Kelly, that flight you're thinking about? Yes, sir. You're on it. Get ready. So that has how he got himself a ride. I'm using what he had as a figure of speech. He did fly the airplane on this flight. So we've got the crew. Now the airplane itself, the airplane above you, is the biggest airplane in the United States in the early 1920s. It is essentially a European airliner. You have a single seat cockpit in front. You've got enough room behind this door here for about no more than 12 passengers. But the Army is not looking for a really big airplane to fly passengers. What they are looking for is a really big airplane to fly the passengers' weight in fuel. So if you look at the front two windows here, you will clearly see some bluish-gray tanks up there. There's two fuel tanks in the airplane. Back up, there's more than fuel. There's two tanks there, one on top of the other. And there's fuel tanks running along the leading edge of each wing. So there's enough fuel in the airplane, essentially, ladies and gentlemen, to fill 15 of these, 725 gallons of gasoline. All right. So what they're going to do in 2019 is really, really simple. You're going to take off an airplane from one side of the country and fly it all the way to the other side of the country nonstop. Done it, a million times every day here nowadays. This will be the first. Now they flew from west to east for two reasons: the basic reason and the bonus. The basic reason, well, we all know it. If you, ladies and gentlemen, if any of you are people live here in the United States, you know that weather patterns run from west to east. That's how it works. So we're going to fly with the wind. That's the basic reason. The bonus reason is that oil coming out of the ground has a naturally higher octane rating in California than anywhere else in the United States. They even gave it a fancy title name. They called it California grade gas. So we're going to put California grade gas in this airplane's tanks and fly with the wind across. And that's the bonus, is the California grade gas. All right? So the two guys in the airplane, gas installed, everything's ready to go. It is 1922, excuse me. They take off out of San Diego, California, and they head west. Now, what they have to do is they're too full of fuel. They're too heavy to climb over the mountains. But they know there's a mountain pass out there. The plan is to fly through the mountain pass and keep on going. But they get to where this pass is supposed to be, it's socked in, it's full of fog. They said, suicide, forget about it. They turn around and fly back to San Diego, scribble a note saying, this is why we're back, stay aloft and throw it out the window onto the runway, and they stay aloft for 35 hours, boring holes in the Southern California sky to establish an endurance record. Try two, a month later, they blow right through this path, they keep on keeping on, no big deal, to get as far as Indianapolis, Indiana. 2/3 3/4 of the way across, when their water jacket in their engine, read that as their cooling system, the radiator, gives up the ghost. And before they give up, they put every conceivable liquid available to the two guys in that radiator with no results. And if, ladies and gentlemen, you're thinking, do I really mean what I mean? Yes, if it's liquid and they got it and you can use it, it went in. For my friends who are with kids, if you want to explain it to kids, that's your job. That's not mine, if you catch my drift. All right. They were unsuccessful. They landed the airplane in the infield of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in 1922. So these guys were pretty bummed out, a little bit disgusted. Said, listen, let's do this. Let us try again, but instead of going from west to east, let's go east to west. Let's go the other way. So during the winter of 22 and 23, they moved everything from California to New York. And for early May 1923, ladies and gentlemen, they were in a little airfield called Roosevelt Field, Long Island, New York. And they're ready to go. Now, not only did they bring everything they're going to fly back to California with them, but they also brought 15 of these full of California grade gas because they know what works. All right? Now, full disclosure, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the most famous airplane that will leave that airfield, Roosevelt Field, Long Island, New York. An airplane about 4 years later will take off and not fly west, but northeast. And that airplane, ladies and gentlemen, is the airplane over your left shoulder, that little silver one right there. That's a stop or two away. That's the Spirit of St. Louis. That leaves from the same airfield almost the same day, 4 years later. All right. Now, before I continue, ladies and gentlemen, are there any of you here from the West Coast? Where are you guys from? Seattle. Perfect. Anybody else? Okay. So you folks are from Seattle. Did you fly direct here? How long did it take you to fly to DC from Seattle? About 5 hours. So when you're flying home direct to Seattle, and sir, you were in that little tube with not much room, not much to eat, you know the drill. I don't want to hear any bellyache. Because the same amount of time it takes you to fly home to Seattle is how long that guy is sitting in that little seat up there in front. Ladies and gentlemen, this airplane travels at 90 miles an hour. So think about this. You got a 90-mile-an-hour wind blowing by your face. That's right?
Like a motorcycle.
Like a motorcycle, exactly. To add insult to that injury, I'm having you stand where you're standing for a very simple reason. You can clearly see the front cockpit, and there's the door right there. That's the back cockpit. So where the pilot sits in the front, next to him is the engine. So close you are to the engine in that front cockpit, you could take your right arm and put on the left cylinder head and use it as an armrest. And you would do this one time. May get a little toasty. So the point is, folks, you're being pummeled by the air, you're being deafened by the motor. 5 hours is an ordeal. What do? You shake the whistle. I've had enough. The guy in the back feels the stick move, feels the airplane move too. And what does he do? He gets control of the airplane from the other guy, and he will fly it while the guy in front pops the seat back, shimmy backwards, swap position with his buddy who will climb forward, go through that opening, secure the seat, shake the wheel, say, I've got it, and they will continue. And they did this 5 times across. All right? Now, when you're flying home, sir, and I'm assuming it's a direct flight back to Seattle, right? And you're clearing the Continental Divide, you look out the window, it's a beautiful day, and there's the Rocky Mountains about that far below you in scale. All right? Remember, this is your homework when you're flying home. At scale, this is the Rocky Mountains from where you're flying across the U.S. today. Here you were, there's the top of the mountains. All right? At this same scale, this airplane was that. They cleared the Rocky Mountains in this machine by 100 feet. Oh, and by the way, not 5 hours. This airplane takes 26 hours and 50 minutes to cross the United States. They were in the air for over a day. If you want to read about it, it's a fabulous read. About a year later, calendar year 1924, National Geographic published an article about this flight. And I don't remember who it was a byline. I don't remember who it was a byline by, but it was I did this, he did that, or we did this. So it's first person all the way. Fabulous read, right? Something to look forward to. Now, we're going to jump out ahead chronologically for just a minute, only because of the neighborhood. So, next question for you guys is when you think of a lady pilot, what's her name? Earhart. Amelia. Right over here.
Yes, Mr. Scott. We want to thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Yeah. Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you so
So long.
much. Hi. So, just like a circle, no, we completed one round of all the technology over here, and finally I'm into this point of exploring the universe. It seems to be a good topic for the children. Okay. So it says that the universe comes in a circle pattern, and we gaze at the moon and the stars, and they move in slow transitions. So that is after having a look at all the technical points over here, it puts us in a way that whether this is Hi Shri. Okay, it puts us in a wake that what is in store between science and spirituality, because so many things which is being proved by the scientists are taken over by God's hands, and this is basically a very challenging question on challenging research project between what is in store between science and spirituality. And this is very good. They are taking through the galaxy of sun, moon and the planets. They have so many videos over here. Okay. How many engineers and physics students watching?
Has grown to become one of the world's foremost astrophysical research institutions.
What is the universe? How big is it? How old is it, and how did it begin? They have put you with two models of the universe. And students who are watching know this is really a information pattern. Wherever you enter in, there's a lot of information with diagrams. They have put you into two models of the universe. One is a sun-centered universe. The other they have pictured is the earth-centered universe.
जंतर मंतर में है ना
We have our forefathers of science listed over here.
It's yours.
Actually, this brings us into the thing that the darker nights bring greater knowledge. For many photography lovers. Yeah, please move ahead. I just don't want to interrupt any of your schedules. This is really awesome. Hi. Thanks for watching. Catch you all later. This is putting me into a very good research question on between science and spirituality. It's a very, very tedious topic. Okay. Thank you so much.